I have a question to you. What makes Yancha, rock tea, so different from all other teas? I'll give you a few moments to think before giving you the answer. Alright, for those that got it right, congratulations, it is the roasting. Yes, the roasting. But is it only the roasting that makes Yancha so special, so outstanding? Let's find out. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. I have been asking this question for quite a while to myself. What makes really Yancha so unique? Because the obvious answer, roasting, didn't satisfy me too much. Now, it's quite clear that processing is crucial in making any tea unique. Take longing, for example. What's so special about longing? Among other things, certainly that roasting in the wok, that high fire pressing with the hand on the leaves that gives you that chestnut roasting notes. Also in longing, by the way, roasting, a different type. If you look at the whole category, like green tea, what makes green tea so different from all other teas? Well, the chachi, killing the green so quickly after the harvest. And you can continue, shupuer, what makes shupuer so different from all other tea, or heicha, the fermentation, and so on. About Yancha, yes, their roasting is dominant. It's very different than any other oolong. It's very, very high fire, it's roasted for multiple times and so on and so forth. So every Yancha has the clear roasting notes. But now I wanted to go one step deeper because, I don't know, I had this feeling that there is something more than that. And we said in the past that Yancha has not only the roasting components, but there's also the minerality from the terroir and also the intrinsic aroma of the leaves. But this is not the question I'm seeking today. So what I have here is, guess what? A Yancha, a Tieluohan, and it is an aged one. It is 8 years old, which you might think is not too old, it's 2015, but well, this tea was stored for quite a while, all the 8 years actually, in Uishan, that has a fairly hot climate, and on top of that, it has a very peculiarity in rock teas, because you know, rock tea are fired multiple times, roasted, and then if they stay there for a while and the vendor is not able to sell them, what they would do, the producer, after a little while, they would roast them again. So there is a successive roasting that is done over the years just to keep that roasting note present. Now, this tea from 2015 was roasted only back then, and now for 8 years it has been aged without any additional roasting. This means, as the Yancha drinker knows, that roasting is fading out, has been fading out for 8 years, and I expect to be it quite milder, a little bit more on the background. So now what we want to find out with these 5 grams of Tieluohan 2015, we want to find out if there are other components. There are other characteristics besides those mentioned, besides the roasting, besides the minerality, besides the aroma of the leaves, that makes Yancha so unique, so outstanding, so special, so different. I'll give a quick rinse. You know, it's 8 years. It doesn't hurt. Oh. You see a very dark color. I just did a wash. Yeah, let's put it also in the cup so it starts getting a little bit of that aroma. So I'm brewing here with 5 grams, 93 degrees centigrade. That's 199 Fahrenheit. The leaves are still relatively dark. I have to say you don't see a lot of difference in the dry leaves. It's not really the roasting, the color of the roasting has gone. You can compare a few Tieluohan that we have right now on stock. There are all pictures on the Rock Tea collection. I put the link to the Rock Tea collection just here above, so that you compare the dry leaves. Then not so much difference, but of course I know this tea because we have selected this year for nannuoshan and I like it, so I've been drinking it here for quite a while. I still have the sample that I got from the vendor when I tasted it with Siggy and Gabriele. Just another 4 grams left though in that pouch. All right, here we go. A lot of bubbles. Not sure you can see them here. Cooling it down is super hot these days. So there is a little bit of roasting is there. It's also the first brew, and another smell of it is a little bit of smoke actually, tiny bit. It's too hot. So the first thing that I noticed in this tea is that yes, at the nose, the roasting was there. Not so much here. But in the taste is not so present as it usually is. This allows on one side to bring out, to how can I say, perceive more clearly the aroma of the leaves, that aroma that is usually a little bit hidden, but also a certain thickness. It's like the tea is a little bit viscous in a way, and this is something that I don't notice that often in Yancha. I have to say that roasting is usually so present that it takes a while to really detect, let's say, other notes, especially in the first brew. But here already I find myself noticing the texture actually, yeah. And I will go straight up actually to another brew and see how this evolves, because we have to get there. We have to understand really, because I have to say one thing, yeah. Now I don't know exactly what it is, but the roasting is not much there. But if you give me this tea blind, I would guess it is a rock tea. I don't need to look at the leaves or to look at the brew. Just smelling, even just smelling, actually just smelling the brew, the liquor, I could probably tell that it is a rock tea, and certainly by drinking it. So what's that characteristic that allows me to tell this tea apart from any other tea? That's not the roasting. Yeah, you even don't notice there is roasting already in this second brew. So it comes even more clear here. That texture that I was meaning before, it's really body. Yeah, it's really the body of the tea is is a heavy body tea. That's how I would describe it. Even if the roasting is gone, probably actually it came in first place by the roasting, but now that the roasting aromas are a little bit gone, I think that the roasting is at the surface of the leaves, so it tends to leave the leaves pretty quickly. The body of the leaf of the brew is very, very clear, especially if you compare that with the danzong that is a relative. Danzong and Yancha are somewhat relative. There are even some cultivars that are in common. And nonetheless, they have such a different taste because danzong is all about mineral, sourness, juiciness, fragrance in a way. Yeah, so it's really juicy. Yeah, this one is not juicy at all. It doesn't have a lot of floral, nothing. There is nothing floral in this. Fruity, maybe something with some imagination. Nutty is more nutty, it's definitely more nutty. And it has this thick, heavy body. It's like, it gives you almost the feeling you are drinking honey, just that it doesn't taste like honey. And it has really a nice deep aroma. So the fragrance, the aroma, the taste of danzong is very high. It's very high there. It's very present. It's very clear. It's bam into your face. Very easy to spot. Best oolong probably together maybe with some Tieluohan for newbies. Here is nothing up there. Is nothing in front. Is nothing really onto your face. It has a deep aroma. So it has this heavy body combined with certainly a very specific taste, but also that you have to search is deeper. Yeah. It has even, it's interesting because it has on one side even a sharp note. The sharpness you get from something spicy really, yeah, from some spicy food. But at the same time, there is also a kind of refreshing aftertaste at the same time. So all in all, it's a very complex tea. You see how many bits and pieces I'm putting together just because you cannot describe just with one thing. But back to our quest, back to our investigation, yeah, where there is the roasting that makes Yancha unique, I would say, you know what, I would say it's probably the roasting that is inducing a series of changes in the leaves that makes Yancha unique, but it's not the roasting taste. It's not only the roasting taste. Even when the roasting has faded out, that roasting process left a unremovable like footprint on the leaves that will stay there maybe forever, and is this deep body, heavy body combined with a deep aroma. And now I know I'm not telling you now it tastes like and I make a comparison with something we know. It's not about whether this tea tastes like an apple, like a pear, like a flower. It's not about that. It's about how deep, how heavy the body is. There are not so many tea that are this heavy bodied, and about the deepness of the aromatics. Yeah. If you compare it with the sound, it's not a very high pitch, like very high. Yeah, it's rather right. It's very low. Yeah, that's the type of deepness that it gives you. Now, very hard to describe. Yeah, very difficult. My suggestion is if you want to try what I'm trying right now, the tea is out, you can just get the sample. 6 grams is more than enough to do this experiment, and then if you like you can buy more. It comes at a price, I think it is around 50 euros in Europe, maybe 31, 32, something like that, dollars in the US. That's the link here to the US shop. And try it out and see how in these aged Tieluohan from 2015, the roasting has gone, while that deep body and deep taste is coming out. You can, we have also another few Tieluohan on the shop, so if you get, one sample and one sample, or maybe you have one at home or even from another vendor, then you can make the comparison with the fresh one and see what I mean by that fading out. By the way, just one final note, if you really get this one tea, and by the way, that's the link to the product page of the European shop. Now, be aware that this has aged a while. All right, and even though some of you would not expect an aged taste in an 8-year-old tea, this tea has also an aged taste. I didn't do it here, I did it automatically, but you have to decouple from that, right? That's not what makes Yancha unique. There are other teas, of course, that if they age, they get that taste. So if you know what I'm talking about, just remove that aging taste, that's not what you are searching, and see what else is there. I hope this video will help you understanding a little bit better what Yancha is. This tea certainly helped me, and I will see you at the next one if and only if you subscribe so that you will be reminded when the next video is coming out. Bye guys!